Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Innokin Itaste variable voltage kit, which I received from www.vapor-room.com. Before I start though, I must point out I did receive it free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review, but my opinion of the product remained true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so I also want to point out that the kit you're going to see in the close-up shots was actually a sample kit that was sent to me quite a few weeks ago now. But the actual battery has been replaced with the new updated V2 battery. Okay, so let's go straight ahead and show you what's in the box. Okay, before I start, I do want to just let you know that this is actually a sample kit that I received several weeks before the retail versions came out. So what you see here may be slightly different to what is actually being sold on the website, but it should be sort of fairly close. One thing that has been updated though is that over the course of the last few weeks, they did send out the latest V2 battery. So the actual battery has been changed to the actual up-to-date version. Okay, so with the sample kit they sent out, it comes in a nice presentation box. And if you open up the lid, inside you're going to get yourself a user manual. Now again, bearing in mind that this is just a sample kit, the user manual that came with it was not the greatest. It didn't really sort of give you any information with regards to like the functions or the numbers that appear on the display here. But again, the retail version may have a more up-to-date manual. You're also going to get one box which contains a USB mains adapter and a USB charging cable. One box which contains 5 empty tank cartridges. Obviously the actual Itaste itself, and when you lift that out you're going to get these atomizers. Now you can only see 3 here, but the kit does actually come with 4, and you're going to get 2 2.6 ohm atomizers and 2 3.2 ohm atomizers. Now these things here, these are atomizer adapters which allow you to use the Itaste with like 510 atomizers, 808 atomizers, etc, etc. But I know that these definitely do not come with the retail version. So these are like basically an optional extra. And I would advise that, you know, if you're going to get one of these kits, to grab yourself one of these 510 adapters, because 510 is a very popular connection. And if you've got one of those, you can use it with so many different things. Just makes it a lot more versatile. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the actual Itaste in a bit more detail. Okay, so here we have the actual Itaste, and the overall sort of look and build quality of it is very nice. And it kind of reminds me of the sort of thing that Apple would bring out if they was ever going to do their own sort of range of electronic cigarettes. Got very much an Apple product sort of feel to it. Okay, so let's go through some of its main features. Okay, so starting off at this end, you're going to find a pen style sort of cap. And if you pull that off, underneath you're going to find the atomizer. Now the atomizer that it uses is unique to this product, so you won't be able to use it on any other sort of devices, unfortunately. Also uses like a tank cartridge, and the tanks only hold around 1.2 ml of e-liquid, so if you are a particularly heavy vapor, you are going to be doing sort of several refills throughout the course of the day. But the way the tanks are, you know, they are very quick and easy to refill. And I find that I can just sort of press the nozzle of the bottle against the tank, give it a squeeze, and that's it, it's full up. So literally just a few seconds of your time. Now, unlike other sort of electronic cigarettes, the atomizer isn't screwed into the body. It's actually held in by magnets. I'll give you a quick demonstration of that. Now here I've got a Bogue 510 cartomizer already screwed into one of the 510 adapters. And if I want to sort of basically swap over, just got to pull that out, take this one and drop it in, and that's it, I can start vaping. Now when I first saw that these were sort of magnetic rather than sort of being screwed into place, I was a little bit put off by it, because I was thinking, as you're vaping, it's all going to be very loose and falling out. But I've not had any problems like that whatsoever. And the magnets, you know, do appear to be very strong, and you know, it does take quite a bit of effort to actually pull that out. So it seems to be holding them in place just fine, really. Then just below the atomizer, you're going to find the actual switch or the button, and this is what you're going to press and hold down each time you inhale. It does also act as the main on-off switch, so if you want to turn the battery on, you just got to tap it 3 times. And that's it, I can start vaping. And you will find that the colour of the LED will change depending on how much charge you've got left in the battery. So green means fully charged, amber means sort of about halfway or less, and then red means get to a charger as fast as you can. And then when you want to turn the battery off, you just got to once again tap it 3 times. So that means you can obviously carry it around in your pocket without any worries of the atomizer accidentally misfiring. Then towards the base, you're going to find a very nice sort of mirrored effect display, and underneath that a plus key and a minus key. Now these keys are used for increasing or decreasing the voltage, and it has a voltage range of anywhere between 3.3 volts and 5 volts, and it goes up in 0.1 increments. One of the little features that the iTaste has is that it will read the resistance of your cartomizer or your atomizer and then give you a recommended voltage range. Now at the moment I've got a 3 ohm Bode cartomizer on here, and if I want to sort of see what the recommended voltage range is, I just need to press the plus key and the minus key together at the same time. So it's telling me 3.5 volts to 4.3 volts is the recommended voltage range for my 3 ohm Bode cartomizer. If I want to change the voltage, I just need to press down either the plus key or the minus key on its own. It will then initially bring up a puff counter, which is something all the Chinese companies seem to like introducing now for some reason. And then after that, it will show you the current voltage. And then once it's on that screen, you can then sort of increase or decrease the voltage. So I'm just going to hold one button down, get a 4 puff count and then the voltage range. And then you can just use the plus keys and the minus keys to up and down. Once you get to 3.3 volts, it doesn't sort of continue back up to 5 volts, so you do need to sort of basically go back through the whole thing, but it's not too much of a big deal. And then right on the bottom, you're going to find a small input which you would use for charging up the battery. The battery is a 800 milliamp hour, so you are going to get sort of fairly good sort of vaping times out of it. But the problem is, what you're going to do when obviously the battery needs to be put on charge. Well, as long as you're at home, you can actually sort of charge and vape at the same time. So you just got to put the charging cable in there, put that into your mains adapter or to your PC, and it will allow you to vape and charge at the same time. Okay, so I'm sure there's going to be some people who would like to know just how accurate the underload voltages are compared to the voltage that you've actually set the iTaste to. So I'm using a tankometer here, which is like an inline voltmeter. I've got a Bode 510 cartomizer attached to it, and I've just set the voltage to the lowest setting of 3.3 volts. So I'll press the button and you get a readout of 3.17 or 3.18 volts. So it's not too bad really. Okay, so let's increase it up to, let's go up to 4.2 volts. That's the button, and it's reading 4.03. So it's not exactly 4.2, but not too bad either. And then we'll go up to the let's go right up to 5 volts, which is the highest setting, and it's reading 4.9 volts. So again, that's only sort of 0.1 of a volt out, so it's not too bad at all. You have to bear in mind I'm using one of these adapters, so that could have some sort of effect on the readings. And also I'm not too sure just how accurate these actual inline voltmeters are compared to using a regular sort of voltmeter. Okay, so that is the iTaste. So let's go ahead and see what it vapes like. Okay, so that is the Innokin Itaste. So what I'll do now then is go ahead and show you in action. So I'm going to be using one of these supplied 2.6 ohm atomizers, and I've got the tank filled up with some 18 milligram strength PG based tobacco flavoured e-liquid. I'm going to start off at the lowest voltage setting of 3.3 volts, and then I'll go up to around sort of 4 volts, and then I'll go up to the highest setting of 5 volts, just so anybody who's new to electronic cigarettes can get an idea of how the voltage will play a part on the amount of vapour you're going to get. So this is at the lowest setting of 3.3 volts. As you can see, like, you know, you are getting a fairly nice amount of vapour, nothing to sort of too amazing. So what I'll do is I'll boost it up to the 4 volts, and you should start seeing a quite a bit of an improvement. So this is at 4 volts. And then we'll go up to the highest setting of 5 volts. Now you have to bear in mind that tank atomizers aren't really the best option for vaping at the higher voltages because the tanks just can't keep up with the extra heat from the atomizer. But this is at 5 volts. So hopefully you can see that every time I've increased the voltage, the amount of vapour production has also increased as well. Now personally, if you are going to vape at the higher voltages, I would recommend getting something like a 3 ohm Bode atomizer, which work you know, brilliantly at high voltages. I'll just give you a quick demonstration. So I've got a 3 ohm Bode here, just pop that in there, and this is a 3 ohm Bode at 5 volts. And they work brilliantly at the high voltages. You get tons of vapour, tons of flavour, plenty of throat hit, and you know, you don't really get any of that sort of nasty burnt taste at all. So I'm going to go back to the original tank atomizer, because obviously that's what comes with the kit. But I am going to boost it back, or not boost it, but I'm going to take it back down to the 4 volts. And I'm finding at 4 volts they seem to work really well. You're getting plenty of vapour, flavour and throat hit without any of that sort of burnt taste basically. With regards to throat hit, getting a nice strong kick in the back of my throat. I personally find that the higher the nicotine content of the e-liquid, not the stronger or the harsher the throat hit. And 18 milligrams, which is what I'm using here and what I normally vape, is not particularly high or particularly low. It's right there in the middle, but you're still getting that nice strong kick there. And obviously, again, the voltage will play a part in the throat hit. Lower the voltage, you're going to get a slightly weaker throat hit. Higher the voltage, you're going to get a slightly stronger throat hit. With regards to battery life, it's got an 800 milliamp hour battery, and I'm finding that that's more than enough to sort of give me a full day's worth of use. You have to bear in mind that I class myself as like a moderate vapor. Now, if you are a person who's going to be chain vaping the whole day long, so the split second you wake up, you're seeing your gob and you're vaping it all day long until you go to sleep at night, and obviously you won't get quite as long a vaping time as what I would do. But based on my needs, you know, I'm getting a full day's worth of use out of it. With regards to the switch or the button, you know, it's a very nice switch to use, very comfortable, quite sort of low profile. Every time you press it, the atomizer fires up straight away, so there's no sort of misfires or anything like that. You also have that main on-off feature, so you've just got to tap it 3 times to sort of turn it off, and that means you can carry it around in your pocket without any worries of it sort of firing up the atomizer. And it does have a 10-second cut-off, which means you can only take a 10-second long drag. Now, I say only take a 10-second long drag, but you know, it's quite a long time really, and you know, I can get plenty of vapour with just taking like I suppose a 3 or 4 second long inhale, so that doesn't affect me whatsoever basically. You know, overall it's been a very nice vape, and it seems to sort of do the job perfectly well. The V1 batteries were a pile of pants. So literally, it had an amp limit on it, which was set so low, and that basically meant that even with like a 3 ohm Bode atomizer, you couldn't get it above sort of 3.6 volts. So it made the idea of it being a variable voltage battery, which can go up to 5 volts, completely and utterly pointless. So, you know, very pleased to see that, you know, after only around a week of it sort of being released, they realised they'd made a bit of a faux pas and then got rid of the amp limit. So now you can use low resistance atomizers, regular atomizers on there, and sort of take it all the way up to 5 volts without any sort of problems at all. Slight sort of negative is that, but this applies to all sort of tank cartridges, is that you will find that the tank cartridges get a little bit of sort of condensation built up right in the tip there. So every now and again you can sort of taste it in your mouth, which isn't particularly pleasant. But a very simple way of pretty much sort of completely eliminating that problem is if you sort of gently bite the cartomizer or the cartridge, a little piece that goes right in the end there will pop out, throw that in the bin, and that's it, condensation problems go out the window. So that's pretty much really the only sort of slight negative I've got to say about it really. Otherwise, you know, it seems to work very well, looks very nice, very well made as well. Okay then, so getting on to the scores for the looks. I think it's a very nice looking device. It does have that sort of Apple sort of feel to it. It's not quite as sexy as some of the other mods out there, but nevertheless it is still a very nice looking product, so I'll give that a 8 out of 10. For the vapor production and throw hit, and give those my average scores of 8 out of 10, because it will be sort of quite dependent on what sort of voltage you got it set to, what sort of resistance atomizer or cartomizer you're using, whether you're using a PG based e-liquid or a VG based e-liquid. So I'll give those my average scores of 8 out of 10. For the battery life, if I can make a battery last me the full day, then that's pretty good in my book. Not quite up there with some of the battery lives of like the large big battery mods, but nevertheless I think an 8 out of 10 is still a good score for it. And for the switch or the button, you know, it works perfectly. Every time you press it, it fires up. It's nice and comfortable to use, and you also have that main on-off feature, so you can carry it around in your pocket without any worries. So I'll have to give that a 10 out of 10. If you fancy trying one of these out for yourself, go along to www.vapor-room.com, type in this code at checkout, and that'll give you a 15% discount every time you purchase from them. Thank you very much for watching, and also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping, see you later.